Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the channel. I have your winter solstice forecast. So this is also the pre-eclipse energy. I believe that we're already feeling the eclipse energy. I think things are already eclipsing. So if you're finding things out, getting news, illumination, I feel like this is positive. I really feel like it's very positive. Anything that's being illuminated is for your benefit. It's like blessings in disguise. Things are going to move quickly now, more quickly. The eclipse is ushering things along. I'll tell you guys personally, you may have seen a recent video that I posted. I was calling for, fundraising for the GoFundMe campaign, and I was telling you guys my story. And just recently, I switched hospitals and doctors, and I seriously realized that I've been such a victim of malpractice and negligence and all sorts of delayed diagnosis, all sorts of things. And I'm not focused on that battle just right now because I do believe I will seek justice with it. But what I want to say is that it's so incredible. Like, I just changed trajectories. And I paired up with the right doctor who illuminated all of this for me. And now he's put surgery back on the table. And I'm actually having a surgery that's going to eliminate a lot of my struggles and symptoms on the 27th of December. And this is something that was being considered back in August, in July and August, but they took it, the old doctors took it off the table. So look at that. So this is a 6-month cycle, and now we're having this renewal. And so I'm telling you guys my personal story because the truth is like, this eclipse is highly illuminating. It's very positive. I was dealing with dark doctors who were not forthright, not truthful, very negative, very fearful. This person is all about possibility, hope, teamwork, collaboration, anything's possible, very knowledgeable, very diligent, and things are pushing forward like that. So, like some of the patterns I'm seeing with other people, I've had people around me who are like, they may have like a health challenge or something like that, but it's coming to the surface so that they can clear the underlying like emotional stress or trauma. I have had clients who are seeing their traumas in a new light, and like, this is not just an eclipse where we're just going to see things and then change is going to come and it's not going to be change that we expected. It's really going to be the type of eclipse where we're getting this full illumination, and it just like pushes us forward in a really, really positive way. And it's going to accelerate things. Like, I see things accelerating, the momentum, the speed, the universe like opening things up. So like I said, some of you, you'll be moving out of certain like familial situations. This is like clearing stuff with your bloodline. I feel sovereignty is a big theme, like independence, discernment, sovereignty, discernment especially. Like, that's something that I've learned with all of these doctors. I've always been like one who speaks up for myself and one who, doesn't put up with any nonsense. But I feel like even my discernment in this process has been foggy. So there's a lot of clarity coming through in this eclipse. This is like clarity. It's discernment. It's also about your sovereignty. Sovereignty from your bloodline and things that have held you in patterns and programs, and so that's happening. So let's go to the cards and we'll see what they say and how they reinforce my sort of channel messages. And so, like I said, this is for winter solstice and for eclipse. And winter solstice is very much a contemplative time. It's a time to go within. We are not just on the cusp of a new year. This is not just a changing of a season, but we are literally about to close a decade and start a new decade. So this is huge. So I feel like with the winter solstice, you know, dark meets light. This is about looking back at the past decade, like sort of taking that decade in review, and then setting your intentions for what you want to do this winter during these darker months, during these darker hours. Do you need to rest, recuperate, rejuvenate? What seeds are you planting for the spring, for the new year, for this new decade? And so we're going to look at all of that in this reading, okay? So I'm sipping my celery juice, you guys, if you hear me clinking a glass. So, all right. So one more reminder for you guys, a couple things. I am working a little bit before my surgery. So next week before the holiday, you guys can book readings with me. There's still some open appointments. After, when I'm in recuperation, like through the new year, there'll still be openings in my schedule. I just don't know when I'll open it back up. So just check back like that week of December 30th or whatever. And I could be doing really well and want to get right back to work, or I might need some time. So you just have to kind of look if you guys want to book sessions, okay? But either way, I'll be back up and running like by early January. On December 30th, we're doing something fun. Me, Aluna Ash, which you guys, a lot of you follow her channel, and my friend Molly of the Happy Soul Coach, that's her channel. We're doing like a fundraising sort of live stream on each of our respective channels, and each reader is going to do a 2020 prediction forecast. It's going to be live. You guys can comment live. If this is all to raise money for my cancer journey. If you guys want to donate, you can definitely donate. And as you do that, each reader is going to give you something like a card pull, or I know like there'll be different incentives, things that you can win, like a reading with. So just watch the trailer at the end of this video, because I'll put it at the end so you guys have all the information. But I hope that you can tune in. And if you want to skip around to each of our readings, you can do that. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on December 30th. And if you miss one of the readings, or if you want to check it out afterwards, we're all going to post replays. So you can check it out even if you miss it. So, all right, let's get to the cards. So I'm going to start with the tarot deck. And we're going to look at just present energies for the collective. This is about finishing things up, I feel, okay? Like needing to focus. Like it feels like going to the finish line, staying focused on what's right in front of you, taking the necessary steps. There's some steps that we need to take. I think everyone who's having any sort of an illumination, you're needing to stay focused on what's right in front of you in order to get to the prize, to get to the big shift. And there's some steps you need to take. So I don't think this is about like our laborious everyday work. I think it's more about like taking steps, staying focused so that these shifts can be made. And for some of you it could be, but I feel like it's more like I said, it's like keeping your eye on the prize, but knowing that there's certain steps that you have to take to get there, right? To be extricated from a situation, to be, you know, like me, like I have to stay focused on just the surgery in front of me, not like the long-term goal right now, even though that's there and I can hold the vision. Like I've got to go 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to follow the steps. Like that's what they're saying. They're saying just follow the steps. Stay focused. Don't get ahead of yourself. There's some things that you need to do logistically in the physical and the 3D. So this is talking about there being some new options, I feel, and this is big because that's what this sort of winter solstice eclipse energy, pre-eclipse energy is bringing. It's bringing this feeling of, I don't feel like this is confusion. I don't feel like I feel like it's options. I feel like there's options that are coming to you that weren't here 6 months ago. For many different situations, this could be health, love, your twin flame dynamics. It could be your work situations. There's new options coming. These could be job offers. This could be things they're saying coming the guides are saying, coming in from left field, like spontaneous, like job offers or new paths, new opportunities, new directions illuminating. I feel like options are coming through for us. And that feels positive, very positive, okay? Oh, cards are falling out. All right, so this is where we've been standing on guard. This is very much like, I feel like defensiveness. I feel like it's an inability to trust certain. This is like being too guarded to take any of these avenues. And they're saying you got to trust. You've got to take a leap of faith. You've got to let your guards down and really trust your own discernment, because a lot of this sort of being guarded, mistrusting is just the bad taste in our mouths from our past baggage, past experiences. And when you come into wholeness with yourself and you're really in alignment with your own intuition, you're going to be able to trust that better. And that's going to lead to you being able to trust others or have the discernment to know who to trust. And I feel like this is really about trust issues with people in all relationships, with me, with the doctors, with you guys, maybe it's with your love interests or family members. This is about discernment. This is about not just taking down our guardedness, but learning how to go within and align with that part of ourselves that knows what's right, that can feel into things, that trusts our intuition, where we trust ourselves. So I think this is a metaphor for not trusting ourselves. Maybe being mad at ourselves for places where we've been hurt, wronged, there's been an injustice or some sort of a heartache. They're saying that it's okay to let your guards down. It's okay to trust. But first you must forgive yourself and trust yourself, okay, before you're going to be successful at trusting others. And I also feel like this is all connected, because I do feel like with new opportunities coming and maybe new paths opening, stuff like that, we're going to have to be careful about this, because you can shut things out, right? If you're not trusting, or if you're feeling, oh, that's going to be the same outcome as before, right? This is a little bit of saying, like, let your guards down, take a leap of faith, but go within first to align so you can trust your own intuition and trust yourself. It's about trusting your own judgment more than anything, okay? And I am, during this reading, going to pull some specific cards and messages for twin flames. But right now, this is just like overall collective energy, okay? And it can apply to various aspects of our lives. All right, so the Magician. So this is what I feel like, this is winter solstice energy. We're working on, this is probably in reverse, because we're not fully trusting ourselves. And if there's this level of distrust or defensiveness or fear, we're not going to be able to step all the way into our manifestation powers, right? So I feel like this is about that, starting the new year, starting this new decade. And it's about pulling these things that we've maybe dreamt about for a very long time into fruition, into life. You have the power to do it, but you're not going to do it while you're standing on guard. And you're not going to do it if you're so mired in fear, distrust, defensiveness, whatever that is. It's going to block you. So this is where I feel like we need to pull all of our tools from our toolbox, everything we've learned, all of our experiences, and paint them as tools, right? Like if we thought about all the heartaches, all the heartbreaks, all the disappointment, failures, all that. Like, granted, you guys have a lot of success under your belt, and I know that, successes and all that. But it's easy to look back and remember the taintedness, remember the past, the bad taste in your mouth, and the past that has been disappointing. So I feel like this is a huge opportunity at this winter solstice for us to clear out the past and for us to look at these lessons over the past decade, really, not just the past 6 months or past year, and transmute them into wisdom and experience and lessons learned. And so, yeah, this feels like this is all part of a karmic wrap up too. Like, I feel like it's really tying up like our own karma, and ways that we have approached things in the past. This is about doing things differently. This is about, especially Zoe, sorry you guys, I'm gonna have to pause it for a second because Zoe is like rustling with papers. Well, maybe she's gonna stop. So I feel like it's a karmic wrap up. I feel like a lot of this is like finding a new approach to things. I'm gonna have to pause it. I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, so I'm talking about a karmic wrap up and this being a new way for us to approach things rather than taking in the baggage of the past and the old paradigms and the old programs. This is a transfer. This is a chance for transformation and transmutation. And this is where we're coming into our manifestation power in a whole new way, okay? All right, so we have the 9 of Cups, and that just gave me full-on goosebumps, okay? So I'm going to talk about this, and especially because above it we have the 9 of Wands, below it we have the 9 of Cups. This is about this is how we're transforming this. We're going from being really, really guarded into fulfillment, into sovereignty. And I think, you know, this is coming up in reverse because this is a little bit blocked by this defensiveness, this fear, this unwillingness to trust. But this is really about us finding the trust within ourselves. This is about finding fulfillment. It's sovereignty. And there's a transformation definitely happening here. And it's also interesting here because we have this 8 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. And I feel like this is like, you know, where we're nearing completion with something. This is all leading up to the 7, 8, 9 sort of sequence is like leading up to this new beginning, okay? This new sort of way of approaching life, this new decade, this new, it's really like a new era, it feels like. And that's something we're going to see on a societal level or on the world stage as well, like a new era. Okay, Ace of Cups, that's the new beginning coming through. So this is very positive. I feel like this is where we're looking at this start of the new year, this chance for all dreams to be fulfilled. This is really about letting the past go. This is about trusting. This is a lot about trust, actually. Trusting ourselves, trusting our own motives, trusting our discernment, trusting ourselves so much and listening to ourselves so much that we trust other people, that we know who to trust and who to get involved with and who to engage with. And it's also hope, I feel like, for things that maybe weren't fulfilled in the past, dreams, desires that now can be fulfilled. Like 2020 feels like a year of possibility, and I've been saying that for a long time. Very positive, very light, not nearly as much darkness and heaviness. Still, we're going to have waves of energy. We're going to have this these times that we have these heavy, dense energies. However, I feel like 2020 is very, very bright. So let's pull some messages from while I have the tarot deck here. Let's pull some messages for Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine twin flames, okay? Or those of you who are like identifying on this path, light workers, star seeds who might be on this path or came to this path because you identified as a twin flame. Let's just look at feminine, masculine messages. We'll go feminine, masculine, combined energy, and we'll see what's coming through. And then we'll pull some clarifiers on all of this. feminine, the Lovers. Move this up so these are kind of collective messages. And this is, like I said, we're going to do feminine, masculine, and feminine, masculine, and combined energy. Wow, this is really interesting. We have the Lovers in reverse. We have the Two of Cups for the masculine. This is showing me a lot of I have goosebumps. A lot of potential unions. Okay, we have the Sun in the middle. It can't get brighter than that. Stuck to the Sun was the Queen of Cups. Okay, so that was sort of, they were kind of jetting out together. All right, let's pull some clarifiers. Oh, we've got a card stuck in here. So this card was stuck. This was from the Archangel deck, and I pulled out. So I pulled out the Sacred Earth Oracle. I have my Fairy Forest deck and the Moon deck and my Universal Oracle deck to use as clarifiers. This card got stuck in from a different deck, and it's Courage, and it's Archangel Ariel. He's saying be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So this is something for some of you about speaking your truth, saying, no, that doesn't work for me. And this is about me with the doctors, right? This is about me. I feel like I'm going to file a lawsuit after this, but it's not like a battle I really want to focus on fighting right now, but it's something that I feel so passionate about standing up for now that I see that I've been wronged. But I don't feel like I'm going to bring that wrong into the moving forward as poison or as resentment. I feel like I want to transmute it quickly into helping other people or taking a stand. And that's what I feel like a lot of you are going through. It might not be with doctors, it might be with relationships or ways that people have treated you, or even work relationships or work dynamics. This is about taking a stand for yourself. And this is about they're saying, be courageous, be brave, stand up for what you believe in, and speak your truth is really what I get too. A lot of you are needing to speak your truth at this time and vocalize what your truth is, okay? So that's important. Don't give up on something just because you think it's going to be hard or because you feel like, well, I can't stand up for myself or there'll be repercussions. No, you can always speak your truth and stand up for yourself. And it's important that you do that, okay? All right, so going back to the Twin Flame cards, the Lovers for the feminine, the Two Cups, we've got the Sun, and the Queen of Cups was attached to that. So this is obviously very positive. This is about like unions, new beginnings. I feel like new playing field, more even playing field. This is about communication. This is about the future being bright. This is about forward movement, momentum, a new understanding, a new establishment. More, I think both the feminine and the masculine are more in touch with their emotions. So whether you're dealing with someone who you've known for a while, who's coming back in, or you're just meeting like your new soul connection or twin flame, there's going to be such a deepening of the connections, such a deep, deep, deep connection. And a lot of you, like I've been saying for a while, will be meeting like your soul partners or twin flames. You may have thought that you already did, but you didn't. And now you're going to have these deep connections, these deep soulful connections. And it's going to be intense. And I've been saying this. You guys can look back at my December forecast. I said this is going to be a time of like intense passion, intense physical connections and reconnecting, and intense emotional connections. Not in a push, pull, runner, chaser. I'm talking about deep intimacy. In intimacy, I mean closeness, and that doesn't necessarily just mean physical. I'm talking about heart to hearts, seeing the depth of someone's soul, someone really seeing the depth of your soul, connection, togetherness, being connected. Like I feel these things for twins, for real sets of twins and these soul type relationships. There is going to be deep connection renewed. Okay? Let's see what they how they're clarifying for feminine. Stretch. So I think you're going to have to stretch beyond what you've been imagining is possible for these relationships or for your love life in general. Sorry, I have to just move this away so you guys can see. All right, so I think you're needing to you're needing to stretch beyond what you thought was possible, okay? This might involve imagining possibility, believing, you know, this is, again, it's like not bringing that taintedness into a new establishment, whether it's someone new that you're meeting or if it's, you know, someone that you're renewing a vow or a contract with. They're saying you need to stretch your imagination to imagine a positive outcome, I feel, to imagine possibility, and that's important in order to open up possibility. And for the masculine, potential. So potential's coming up in reverse, and this is like he sees the potential in the relationship, and I feel like feminine, you feel like he hasn't seen that, but he is. He is seeing that. He is seeing the potential of this being like a lifelong partnership or something special, something different than other relationships. And I think that potential is creating an excitement for him, and it's helping him get over any fears. So I feel like masculine stepping forth to communicate and to give an offering of some sort to the feminine. I also feel like a more in touch masculine who can speak his emotions better than he has been able to in the past. Okay? And for many of you, this is all becoming possible because you've left behind some karmic situations that maybe you thought were twin flame situations that haven't been, that you've needed to release, or maybe you're releasing at this time. Let's pull some clarifiers on this. Future. So this is what they want. I told you, they want you to stretch your imagination. They're wanting you to anticipate, dream, and plan the future. And so that just reiterates that. That's just a nice validation of what I was saying. They're saying open up the possibility because anything can happen. And this renewal in this relationship or this new person coming in, they're saying stretch your imagination, start to dream, start to plan, start to get excited, okay? And for the masculine, this is stability. So this is something that he's been working on. So stability is coming up in reverse. That's the tree with the roots in reverse. It normally looks like this. And I feel like he's needed to get his feet underneath him and get to a more steady place and get his strength and his security set. And I feel like he is doing that, or he's got the potential, right, to do that and is working on that right now. He wants to step forth to the feminine. This person who's coming forth with an offering or communication, he wants to step forth on a much more solid ground than you've been in the past, or that you've experienced personally in your life in the past. Like this person stepping forth to give you more solid ground, to give you more stability. And they're doing that by creating that for themselves first. And that's what the masculine's been working on. He's been working on that stability and getting grounded. And he wants to give that to his feminine counterpart. He feels like he's not going to be ready for that true commitment until he's got that. So I feel like that's a work in progress. That's in motion, okay? And I just had a conversation the other day with one of my clients about, like that we can't hold on to someone's potential, right? Like what is here right now is what it is and what the energy is. And so if you align with someone's energy, even if they're not ready for commitment and so on and so forth, you'll align with it because there's a wounded piece of you that feels like you're not deserving of the commitment or so on and so forth. But the truth is like we should never hang on to potential of someone. We can see the potential, we can see the light, and we can love them from afar. But if it's not in alignment for what we desire, what we deserve, and our integrity and our values and our morals, then we need to kind of also understand that it's okay to say no, or to say, okay, this doesn't align at this time. Because if we go in and hang on to someone's potential in the hopes or expectations, that's attachment, that they're going to give us something that we want or need, but they're not capable of it and they're not working on it, then it creates like this friction, and it creates this mirror for us to see within ourselves. Why are we doing this? Why are we hanging on to someone's potential? Why are we attached to this in the hopes that they'll become someone different or that they'll change or whatnot? And so like a lot of this twin flame journey is just about allowing the other person to just be who they are, be on their own timeline, and be where they're at without needing or pulling or expecting and so on and so forth. So I feel like the message is like the masculine is truly working on himself, especially these true divine masculine counterparts and these twin flame connections. He truly is. And he sees the potential now in the relationship. And you've seen the potential in him all along, divine feminine. But the thing about it is like he's needed to get right with himself, and he's known that. And that's a lot of what he's doing right now, is getting right with himself, getting on more solid footing, so he can make an offering to you that's more solid. And that's a lot of what's happening. And if this is someone, for those of you who haven't met your real twin flame yet, and this person's coming in, like I said, it's going to be a more solid, grounded person who has something to offer you that really is going to meet your needs and your desires, okay? So it's going to be happy. All right, we're going to pull from the fairy deck. And I wanted to use this deck for winter solstice messages. So I feel like I'm going to throw this up here, and I'm going to put one card down here for the combined energy. All right, so overall collective messages. In reverse, we've got this solitary. So this is about dedication, self-love, focus. So this is that focus I told you. This is about staying the course on something, taking the steps. But this is also about like you totally being in alignment with yourself. Like before you can forge these trusting relationships with other people, you've got to have that relationship with yourself. So I feel like a lot of the winter solstice energy will be having us go within. And this is really about focusing on what we want, our desires, being truthful of that, dedicating ourselves to self-care, self-love, honoring our truth, and allowing ourselves to trust ourselves first and foremost. Okay, and so there might be some time with the solitary. It might be saying there's some time behind the scenes. There's some time where you're going to really be needing to up the self-care and up this connection with yourself. For these twin flame situations, it's soul kin. So this is about soul family kinship. So this could be that through this connection, you're meeting, something's prompting you to meet your soul family. It just could be like this feeling of familiarity you have with the soulmate or twin flame, this feeling that they are your soul family. This is also about strengthening bonds with soul family as we clear up actual familial karma and karmic imbalances with our bloodline. I feel like that's part of it, and that frees us to be free, happy. There's a sovereignty in that. So do feel like you're going to have the opportunity in the new year for twins to maybe even forge like your missions together, or I also see like a lot of twin flames as individuals. In your mission, I feel like you're going to be interviewing people. Like, I feel like there's more like connecting. Let's do a round table. Let's do an interview. Let's do a podcast together. Let's do this together. Like, it's really about you connecting with other like-minded people who are on the same path, who have had similar experiences. And I talk a lot in my December forecast about there being like this clarity on, with our missions, on who we want to work with, like what segment of the population, what group, what cause. And I feel like that's huge. As you define that, you're going to call in your soul family, and that's a lot being driven by these connections. Okay. Let's pull a couple of cards from the moon deck. And I'll come back at the new moon solar eclipse too to give you like a update reading right on that energy. But this is sort of like the pre-energy. We have cards falling out. So we have play and preparation. So I feel like this is the preparation, that we're, for the manifestation, where we play, where we start that new beginning, where we are dreaming about the future. But this preparation here is very important. It's taking the necessary steps, okay? It's lining things up. It's going within. It's clearing out the cobwebs of the past. It's transmuting our past experiences into, positive energy, so we can take that forward, play, and manifest, and have this new, fulfilling, emotional beginning. Desires fulfilled. And like I said, a bright 2020 is on the docket for many of you. Things looking brighter, new solutions, okay, so this is the visionaries coming up for the twins. And I feel like you see with the twins, how it's like, divine feminine, stretch your imagination, dream about the future, plan, anticipate, open up the possibilities in this connection. Same thing. The masculine seeing the potential. He's also seeing his own potential. He's trying to get stability, and he's seeing this vision for the future now, wants to step forth. So this is about the visionary. This is about seeing that future. This is about creating it from our minds, from our thoughts, from our intentions, from our hope, from our faith, from our trust. Okay? So I think I'm going to leave you with that for now. And then, like I said, I'll come back around Christmas, around the solar eclipse, and I'll give you a reading for the solar eclipse energy once we're right in it, okay? So I'm wishing you guys a really happy holiday. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. Happy Hanukkah. And, hope you're enjoying the last few weeks of the year. And I'll come back, like I said, with the solar eclipse reading. And don't forget to watch the trailer that I'm going to tack onto this video, so you can find out about the December 30th fundraiser and those 2020 prediction readings. All right, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. I'm so excited to announce that on Monday, December 30th, which is New Year's Eve, we're going to be holding a special event. So who is we? I've teamed up with 2 other YouTube readers and phenomenally talented women. And we're all going to be doing a simulcast. So basically we'll be live streaming at the same time at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to bring you your 2020 predictions. So we'll be ranging from focusing on January 2020, the cosmic shifts and forecasts, to a glimpse of what's ahead for the whole year. So what's in it for you? So you guys can join each of these live streams at 8 p.m. on December 30th. And or you can click over to the other readers and watch the replays after. So what are we going to be doing during these live streams? So basically this is a benefit to raise funding for Kimberly's cancer journey. And so during the live streams, you'll be able to donate. And as you donate and you comment in the live chat, you'll be eligible for live card pulls. So the readers will pull cards for you. You'll be able to win certain promotions. So I know like Molly's channel, she's going to be giving away a free personal reading for everyone who donates $50 or more. So there'll be all sorts of fun ways that you can participate in this live stream, and or that you can participate as a donor even after in the replays. So we're so excited to be bringing these to you. I think it's really cool too, because we're three very different readers who will bring you very different insights for the 2020 year, and it's going to be exciting. And I think if you listen to all three of us, you'll be able to walk away with some really valuable insights for the new year. So we're so excited to be doing this, and we'll see you on the 30th.